Well, hello everybody, and welcome to SkyTour livestream for this evening on the 14th of September. Can you believe it? Holy cow! And we are all set. What a day! What a day! I'm telling you. It's good to see you guys. I see a nice crew is already here. So much the better. I'm looking forward to hanging with you guys tonight. It'll be fun. The sky looks a little bit odd because I think we have some light clouds passing through. But before we move further, I just want to welcome Daryl to the stream. Hello, Daryl.
Hello, Mark. How are you?
I am fine. Thank you for joining us tonight. I know it was kind of short notice. I wasn't sure how it was going to work out, but it did. I'm pleased that it did. I had an issue with the telescope tonight, which I thought was rather odd, but you know, it happens.
It happens.
It does.
Murphy's Law. Hello, everybody.
Very good. Okay, so let's see here. Let's move you up a little bit. Yeah, so now you have that up there. Okay. So everything is up and running. Everything is working. I haven't gone through a focus yet, so I'm going to do that now just to take care of that and get our focus assistant running. We'll do a multi-star, full width, half maximum. You can see all those squares are the stars that it recognizes, and I'm going to connect the focuser now. It's connected, and I'm going to defocus it a notch or two. Okay, and that's gone out in focus, and now I'm going to scan in, and so it's going to go past that perfect focus and go beyond it and build a curve. The bottom of the curve is our focus point. Okay, here we go. You can see, let me just get rid of something up there to make sure you don't. Okay, there, now you can read this up here. Okay, this tells you it's in step 5 of 12, and it's getting samples from every one of these locations to build a focal equation, and then it's going to put a line of best fit through that equation, through those points, I should say. And that'll be the focus equation for tonight. I want to say hi to Izabela and Daryl, and well, you're already here. Robin Curtis, thank you, good to see you. There's some new faces out here tonight. You know, James is with us. James has been here before. Alpha Centauri Virgo is here. Good to see you. And Michael Klagus is with us. We have a nice crowd. Good people. Thank you guys for coming on out. Oh, look, there's our line of best focus. So what we're going to do now, this is it right here. Now we're going to just tell it to go to that best focal point, and you'll see the stars go from fuzzy to sharp. Okay, there we go. It goes all the way through. It defocuses it and then runs it right back into that center focus. Look how sharp those are. Now we can get rid of this, and we're done with it. Goodbye. All right, and now we have this beautiful focal screen here. This is just a 1 second exposure with our night vision mode on right now. Okay, the night vision mode is actually got to be this. This is more like it. Okay. All right. So now let's go over to we're going to start Stellarium, I guess. We'll start Stellarium up again. I had to reboot the machine. Twice, actually. Don't know why, but sometimes the machine just likes to be rebooted. Okay, so Stellarium's going to start up. Here we go. And it shows us right where we are in the sky. That's great. And we'll confirm that that's where it thinks it is by going to an object. We're going to go to this guy right here, Measure 11. Measure 11 is also known as the Wild Duck Cluster. So,
well, look at Stellarium. Scorpius is pretty much gone already down there in the southwest, and Sagittarius isn't far behind. The teapot's tipping over, and the Milky Way is the steam coming out of the spout.
Yeah, it is. So let me just check one thing here.
It's almost
Zoom
fall.
in. I know. Don't say that. No. I don't want fall yet. Okay, I'm going to try one little thing here.
Fall's the best time of year here.
Is it?
Oh yeah, the monsoon breaks and we just get sunny weather, sunny mild days for weeks on end, and
Yeah.
clear, cool nights, and the nights get colder and colder.
Truer words have never been spoken. Alright, we're going to try here to go up to here. I think I'm seeing some clouds have come in here. I'm at 78%, but I will get us to more of our... Yeah, see, we've got some clouds tonight. We'll wait for them because it's supposed to be clear, and I saw on the all sky I had a lot of clarity, so we should have some clear skies here. We just happen to be behind a cloud at the moment. So it's not going to be able to find anything until it's clear. So let's actually do the following. Let's go up, and it's not going to be able to find stars to guide on either. What I hope this isn't going to kill us tonight. Wasn't like this earlier. It was perfectly clear earlier, and then I saw clouds coming in. Let's see if this will work tonight and get us at least an image of what's going on.
Bullwinkle would like to see the double cluster in Perseus.
Oh, I'd love that. That would be great. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. Here's our all sky. We have a few clouds zipping through our view, and we're actually trying to look down here. So that's part of the issue we have. That's the Milky Way right there. And then we have that cloud, this cloud, and that cloud. But we'll try to work around them, shan't we? Okay.
Sure.
Why not? All right, we'll keep track of that as the night goes on. So, double cluster down in Perseus might be tricky, but let's see if we can bring a telescope up to a region where we got some stars. Oh yes, so here we go. All right, so now we're up toward the Scutum star cloud.
Scutum's shield.
Yeah. Hi, Alice Pooper. Good to see you. NPC, nice to see you as well. Edward, good to see you. Hello there, Uberku, what's going on? Uberku, I don't know if you're male or female. Let me know. Not that it matters. But I'm just curious. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to... Oh yeah, that's pretty. Okay, now let's make sure and confirm that we are looking at the right thing. So I'm going to set the rate to be 0.25 degrees per second, and then we'll go toward the east a little bit. And we should see on this left side here, just a second, we should see this cluster come in, the wild duck. Actually, I will set us to a little bit faster than that because we'll need to go. So we're going to go to 0.5 degrees per second. Here we go. Oh, there's some beautiful star cloud there. I know that looks like the Scutum star cloud to me. Okay. Alright, let's go in here now. And let's bring in our field of view indicator, which you can see that our telescope isn't quite that high up. Gonna move it a little higher. And we should see Measure 11 slide right into the view if we're aligned correctly. And let's go now and look here.
Uber Crew says, I am you and you are me and we are all together. I am the walrus. I guess that's an answer to your question.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So,
okay.
MYOB, in other words.
I guess. Alright, so let me move a little to the west here. So we should be in there, and there it is. Okay, so we're close. So I'm going to take us now down to a better speed, and we're going to bring that into the center. That's Measure 11. It's not a globular cluster, but it's a rich star cluster. I believe it has hundreds of members. And now we'll do our alignment, get this centered up. So we're going to bring our telescope north a little bit. There we go. Then we're going to check our coordinates, make sure that we're good. I rough aligned it earlier. I didn't do a perfect alignment, but that's okay. Alright, there we go. And now we will go to the east. No. To the west. Okay. Right, so now, what is the coordinates now of this? This is the wild duck cluster. The coordinates are 1851. I know, on the date, yes, 1852 and -6. Okay, well, we're kind of close. Let's see if we can synchronize that and make it better. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now we're synchronized. Everything is synchronized. This is synchronized to the telescope. Telescope is synchronized to that. And we are in good shape. Now, let's check that out. I'm gonna move it a little bit to the west to get this star cloud in here, and then we'll take a picture. That bright thing there, that's actually a star cloud, a cloud of millions, hundreds of thousands to millions of stars that are visible. Okay, so we're gonna do searching now. You see it says searching. We're searching for a guide, and this will be M11. Okay, this is an open cluster OC. Hey there, Cosmic Ray. What's going on? All right. Now we have our guide. You can see the numbers changing here. Those guides are working. And now we're going to change our exposure. Let's do, 25 seconds. And we'll cut that off. And now I'll go stack this. Those dots are actually errant pixels. They occur on photos sometimes, and they're random. They come and go. I promise you won't notice them. Oh, look at that. You know how that's going to look when I do this. Okay, and then this. Color balance. Wow. That's beautiful. And going to take it back just a little so you can see a little more of the dark swirls just above the cloud. Look at that. See that? And below it and over here.
Yep.
This is Messier 11. It's called the Wild Duck Cluster as well. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's because it looks like a flock of ducks in flight. I don't know.
Nice color contrast with those stars to its upper right.
Yeah, isn't it? That is just beautiful.
And you can see some dark nebulosity.
Yeah. We're going to let this develop for a while. And let's pull that over and make it bigger, right? Let's do it this way so we can actually see a little more. Wow. And you know what? Not to spoil it, you know this is Messier 11, so let me just pull that out. Okay.
I see kind of a big Y shape of dark nebulosity. The
Right
upper
here?
part of the Y is above M11 and the lower leg
Lower
is down
part.
below it.
So you got this and that and you got this and that and that.
Yep.
That's your Y, yeah. Well, folks, welcome to the Sky Tour live stream tonight. Live astronomy at its best. There's literally no one doing what we're doing. I mean, I've seen some people doing things, and honestly, there will be. We've got some developments coming here that are going to be just amazing. I talked to someone yesterday, and I have a feeling we're going to have a wonderful future ahead of us to bring you some of the best stuff. And JSCO77 is saying, perhaps Mark can tell us what we are looking at in Orion. Well, we're not at Orion yet, JSCO. This is still the Sagittarius area.
He was referring to the recent web image of the Orion Nebula.
Oh, he was?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see. I'm sorry, I missed that, JSCO.
As I mentioned in the chat, I have seen the image around several places, but the last I looked, it's not on the website yet.
Okay.
To me, it reminded me of that early image of the Carina Nebula. You know, it was just one small portion of a large nebula.
Yes.
And it really didn't look like Orion to me. It just looked like random nebulosity at infrared wavelengths.
Yeah. Wow, okay. Pull that away for a minute. And we'll take that out. Just so you can see what's going on. I guess that's the time. Okay. Wow. That's really pretty. This is actually, in spite of what we're looking at, in spite of this could not align last 5 frames. Why is that? Sometimes that actually happens because there's too many stars. It has trouble aligning. I've actually had that happen. Wow. Now let's go back here. Okay. And now see this, get the telescope back. There we are. Okay. That's just beautiful. So we're going to pause it now And we'll save it just like this. Look at those beautiful dark nebula. It's just gorgeous. Okay, so we save the astronomical fits file, right? And that's the file that is the raw data. Okay, and then we're going to save it exactly as seen, so that you can have fun with that if you want it. Okay, and then that's saved, and then we'll be done with this stack. All right. And now we'll go back to our 1 second shot here and go to our night vision mode. And we see that no wonder it couldn't align. We got clouds. Isn't that something? So we didn't waste an alignment. Let's see if we can get a acquisition here and see what we get. And check out what the sky looks like. Yeah, okay. See, notice this, right? In the desert, when at night we get the warm air rising after the sun sets, and for a period of time, you'll get some clouds up there. And that's what we're seeing. But I think we should be able to play up in Cygnus. The south is here, north is here, east is there, and west is here. That looks like Jupiter to me. The moon is rising soon. And it might be rising from right around, well, actually, I think the moon's going to rise from over here. I'll have to look. Oh, the stars of summer are going. I'm not happy about that. Now, I know that Bullwinkle asked about the double cluster. This right here, this is the W of Cassiopeia. That's an airplane coming through. All right, let me see if I can get one more to show you. You'll see the clouds have moved if this is functioning. I have problems sometimes connecting with this camera when everything's running. Yeah, but you can see where they're going. They're heading this way, right? But that W right there, that's Cassiopeia, and the double cluster is right around here. So it's really low, and it's not in prime time yet for us. So we won't be able to look at that right now. Okay. So sorry about that, Bullwinkle. But I love requests. Trust me.
I'll try to remind him later.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
There's Jupiter rising in the east, and
right there.
That dimmer one to its left, a little bit lower, that's Saturn.
You talking about that's that? I think
no,
those,
sorry, the north-south thing always throws me.
Yeah, this is east.
Yes.
Saturn
Jupiter
should be
rising
over here, right there. I think, right?
No,
Maybe.
Saturn is actually pretty far up right now. It's probably behind those clouds.
Yeah, maybe. I can't see it.
I think that the bright star left of center is Vega, I believe.
It is, because that's you can see Lyra here, the constellation.
Yeah. And then the bright star over on the far left is probably Arcturus.
Yeah,
Arcturus is going away too.
Yeah, that looks like Saturn right there. No.
Okay, yeah, that's probably Saturn there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, looks like our southern exposure has returned. So let's go back to our southern exposure. Yes, and as you can see, we've got our nebula. I'm sorry, our beautiful image here. I'm actually going to move us up a little bit. And by moving us up, I'm going to capture more of the dark nebula here. Take advantage of the fact that the moon has not risen yet. All right. Yes, indeed. All right. I just love the majesty of the night. Okay. A little more. Here we go. Alright, so now we have some dark nebula in here, and we're waiting for our searching to turn into our locked on, and there it goes, our locked on mode, and now we go. Now if you want to know where any of this stuff is, you can go to skytourlive.com right above and you will get access to the database where all these images are sent minutes after they're taken, actually seconds after they're taken, and then you can scroll down further and go get photographic prints if you want of these. But what you get as photographic prints are really highly processed prints that are taken far beyond what you see here in Skytour Livestream. It takes a while per print to get them ready, and they have to be perfect or I won't let them go out the door. But that's the way it is, and I think you would enjoy them. Okay, we're gonna do this again now. We're gonna go and do a 25-second shot. And we're going to come out of night vision mode and go into our live stack mode. We're going to start stacking images. That's what we saw before. This is going to be down more now. So we're going to clear this. And we're going to go to our full size, pretty much full size. All right. And here comes image 1. Here we go. Yeah. Now we're seeing something nice. Look at this beautiful, beautiful dark nebula here.
Yeah, looks more distinct now.
It does. Because we were looking at it through some clouds. Yeah. And we can color correct it. I don't think that's going to do much because we have that pretty well covered. Okay, we've got 2 frames stacked. And the more frames we stack, the more noise goes away, and it just makes it look so pretty. Look at this. Now here's to ponder. Every star you see here, every star you see over here in the star cloud, every one of these stars, almost all of them, are likely to have planets of some kind. And there are literally more planets than there are stars in the universe. True fact. Amazing. Because when I was getting my degree in astronomy, we didn't know of any planets at that point. And now we do. And now we do. It's just spectacular.
There's been some exoplanet news just recently that was it Webb that they found what they think are water worlds?
Yes. Yep. Now the thing about that is when a star is subject to a transit of a planet's a little tiny point going across the star's face, but that little tiny amount of light that's stolen from the star as it passes in front of the star, from our perspective, is how we know that there's planets there. Those are called transits. The Kepler Space Telescope found almost 5,000 planets. And then the James Webb is doing the same thing. TESS, the Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, did the same thing. And the nice thing, let me just move myself. The nice thing is these planets that were found are so varied, but there's a certain percentage of them that are kind of, well, sort of like Earth, as far as we can tell. Here's what we don't know yet. We don't know what the atmospheres of many of these planets look like yet, or if they even have atmospheres. Chances are they do. If you look at our solar system, almost every planet in our solar system has an atmosphere of some kind. Okay? It might be tenuous, okay, but it's there. So the planets that have habitability are those that might have a thick enough atmosphere and be in that habitable zone, not too hot, not too cold, which you guys know about. And I mean, in this image over here that we're looking at, we're looking at probably thousands of such worlds just in this image. But we don't know that yet, right? We're using statistics to figure that out. But when a planet goes in front of the star, the first thing to touch, when the planet first touches the starlight, first starts to cut the starlight, it's not the planet cutting off the starlight first. It's the planet's atmosphere that reaches the star first, right? Because it's a shell sticking off of that planet, and that passes in front of the star first. At that point, we can see what's called contamination in the spectrum. And it's at that point where that contamination can be deciphered and figured out, and we can say, hey, I see water vapor, and maybe we see copious amounts of water vapor. Now, we won't see water vapor with Webb directly, because water vapor lines are in the visible part of our spectrum, but we'll see the results of other processes with water vapor that will be in the infrared part of the spectrum. Same thing with oxygen. Webb can't see oxygen. So you say, why are we doing it then? Well, that's not what it was originally designed to do. It was designed to see the farthest galaxies out there. But the Webb's capability can be extended by looking for what happens when oxygen molecules in an atmosphere bump into each other and collide. They create an infrared signature that the Webb can see. So indirectly, we can determine that there's oxygen in an atmosphere. And that's what we're doing.
Wasn't it Carl Sagan who suggested looking for spectral signatures of atoms that could, or elements that could indicate life elsewhere?
Yeah, and he actually did something else too with the Galileo space probe. When Galileo was heading out to Jupiter, he actually had the probe turn around and look at the Earth and monitor the Earth as it was receding from the Earth, leaving the Earth's region. And the reason he did that is because he wanted to see what a planet, there was a property he was looking at called reflectance. He wanted to see, that's a little different from reflection. Reflectance is defined a little differently. But what he wanted to see was what a planet that has water looks like with this reflectance parameter. What the ice caps look like with reflectance. What deserts look like. What lush vegetation looks like. What combinations of all of it looks like. And in doing so, they built a database of what such a planet might look like in the reflectance category. And this is something that they can use when they look at exoplanets thousands of light years away.
I think that's cool? What I was thinking of, what you said about the Voyager looking back at Earth.
Well, the Galileo, yeah.
Galileo, yeah.
Yeah. So that process to look at the reflectance is something that now gives us this rudimentary database of what a desert planet looks like, what a water planet looks like. And I'm not sure what the Webb characteristics were that they were looking at to see induced water planets, if it was through Webb at all. I think you said it was Webb, right?
That's what I thought it was. I know.
Okay.
They have been finding some exoplanets with Webb recently.
Oh yeah, they have. Well, there were targets that Webb looked at of known exoplanets that we've looked at, and oh, look at that. Let me see if I can tease a little more detail out of that. I'm gonna do this, and let's pop it. Okay, and now let's pull this in and make it pop. Too much. A little bit back. Now let's back out and see what we got. Wow, guys, look at that. Notice this bar down here? That's actually from the guider. All right, the guiding telescope is actually moving the telescope up a little bit each exposure to help it guide better. So I will cut that out in the processing later. This is going to make a gorgeous photo.
Can we zoom in on the cluster a bit?
Oh, you mean this thing here that I've been paying almost no attention to? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Let's see what it looks like.
See how well it resolves.
Well, I see individual stars there.
Yep.
Let's go even closer. We're way above our sensor sensor capability now. We're actually 241% in. All right, but it's a beautiful cluster. Okay, this
it's full of stars.
That's right. My God, it's full of stars. This is the native resolution of our sensor, by the way. So we have so much more we can do. Okay, we have stacked 23 of these. So we're going to stack a 24th, and then we're going to move along. Nothing to see here. Ah, look at that. Izabela said it best. She said, wow, this is pretty or whatever. Yeah, Michael Clegg is that's the drift of the telescope. But the guider can handle it, which is why I'm not too worried about it. Again, we're at F2. If we're like at F8 or F10, not so sure. I might have to do something about it. Yep.
Could we zoom in on the dark cloud right up at top center?
This one?
Yeah, the real dark one there.
Sure, let's go look at it. Wow. There's a lot going on in there.
I see star chains too.
Yeah. Yeah, the weird thing is, when you have a photo like this, you know, you look at this and say, that's just a rainy driveway somebody took a photograph of. You know, one of my astronomy professors, he actually took a photo of his driveway after rain and said, look, I took a Milky Way photo last night. I said, how could you? It was raining. I know, but look, I did it. And of course I laughed because, you know, they can't fool me with that. It's pretty. Okay, I went a little more. I said 28, so I already got the 28. So we'll pause this. We'll save this. It's M11. It's going to go in the same location, same directory as the last one. And this one will save exactly as seen as well. If the system, you know, the system is smart enough to not try and stack something it can't align, so we don't get misaligned imagery. So when that cloud came over, it didn't ruin that shot because it said, nope, I'm not going to stack because I can't align this, so I'm going to ignore this. And that kind of told us what was going on. So that's another reason I actually love this system.
Oh,
look at that.
The message it gave earlier said it didn't stack like 8 images or whatever.
Yeah, that's because that was the clouds that came over, so it couldn't align, so it wasn't going to try and stack something that made no sense because it would ruin the shot.
Cool.
Okay, now we'll clear this on the way in next time. We're at a gain of 250, which is the number here. That's like the sensitivity of the sensor. And we were shooting at 25 seconds here. Yes, I know the last frames haven't been stacked because I've not stacked them. Okay, but now what we'll do is we're going to come in and go back to our 1 second shot in night vision mode. Okay. Here's night vision mode. And let's increase the size a little bit. Go up to 33. Okay. Now back to here. Boy, we're leaning way over. But I want to see if we can go up to Cygnus. But before we do that, I do want to look at for what's that little guy? I do want to look for at the Dumbbell Nebula too tonight, just to see Dandelion Puffball Nebula,
or the glowing eye.
Okay, I don't know what it is, but we're gonna check that out.
Beware of the glowing eye.
Beware the glowing eye. All right, here we go, folks.
Sounds like a Vincent Price movie.
Yes. Beware the glowing eye. Ah, ha, 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 ha. And then it's gonna go to a bright star and center it up and use that as a waypoint star. And that waypoint star in this case is right there. It's gonna be Alphalamine Prior. And then it's gonna just go right down here and find it if the coordinates are correct for it. Sometimes they're not. I always have to deal with that, but that's out of my control. That's not my control. That's poor cataloging on some poor person's fault. Okay, there it is. That's it. The Dandelion Puffball. Look at that. Well,
Planetary nebula must be really far away.
yeah, or it's young, and hasn't spread out far. I mean, we don't know, Yeah, Izabela says it's a funny name, one of those that they probably had to make up. Well, that's Stellarium for you. Stellarium makes these weird things. I'm actually gonna, do not a 25-second shot. I'm gonna do a 6-second shot. And the reason is because things like this are usually pretty bright. So let's go and stack it. Let's see if we can pull out some of the detail and color. So let me clear this first. All right. Stack is reset and we're on our way again. And let's see what we got. First we're going to do an alignment of the colors and do this. Oh, where the heck did it go? Oh, there it is, right there. Yeah, see, it's got that blue color of oxygen, the O3.
Uh-huh.
Now we're over 150% right now. And you can definitely see that that's interesting nebula. Let's see if we can dig into it by going down this way.
That's green.
Yeah, it's definitely O3.
It's green, as Scotty said.
That's right. What is it, Scotty? It's green. That was funny. Yeah, that was the Kelvin in that episode where they were flying through the Andromeda Galaxy, remember? And they were shrinking everybody down to little tiny tetrahedrons.
Scotty was trying to drink the alien under the table.
And the alien drank him under the table. Wow, look at that. That's interesting.
A very, very, very old scotch.
That's it. What's the actual name of this? The actual name is NGC 6751, the Dandelion Puffball, or Glowing Eye. It's the Glowing Eye, Captain. I know it, Mr. Data. Okay, so NGC 6751, Glowing Eye.
Ray looked it up, says it's 6,500 light years away, so it is pretty far away.
And it's a PN. It's a planetary nebula setup. Thank you, Ray, for looking that up.
Planetary nebulas, if they're mature, I mean, they tend to max out at a certain size, don't they, for how far the white dwarf star can excite the surrounding gases into emission.
Right. And that's and that diameter tends to be between 1 and 2 light years. But that makes a huge difference in your distance calculations. So it's really not, it's actually kind of hard to gauge distance to planetary nebulae. For that very reason. And of course, they're small. But boy, their spectra are really cool. You look in their spectrum, you see all kinds of elements in the spectrum. Not just oxygen, not just hydrogen. Lots and lots of elements are in the spectrum. But these just dominate because these colors are just so vibrant. So that dominates. Hey, Desert Dweller, what's going on?
Marianne is here.
Marianne, wow, she's up in Williams, Arizona right now. Hey, Marianne. Desert Dweller says, dumb question. Can you adjust the focuser and sharpness on the fly? Yes, in fact, you might have missed it earlier, but we did a focusing run where we actually let it autofocus and go through and calculate the best focus.
I see star chains in this image too.
Oh, you can't miss them.
One at 3 o'clock and one at 12 o'clock.
Yeah. Beautiful stuff. Hey, Cindy Murphy. I don't think I said hi to you. Oh, and Anahata. Bonnie's here. I missed you earlier. I'm sorry. Oh, no worry, Desert. We're very interactive with people who watch us and hang out with us.
You know, if you want to see a planetary, you know what's coming into prime time now.
Talking about M27?
Well, yeah, I know you mentioned that earlier. The helix.
Oh, yeah. We'll
That's
check the
close to
southern.
planetary.
Yeah, we'll check the south and see. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can make this happen. Let's do one acquisition again. See where these clouds are. Hey, look, it's clearing up.
Ta-da.
And our south exposure is pretty good, and the helix is going to be over here.
Yeah.
So that's good. All right. So, as I mentioned, we give it a little time and it clears up. Okay. Let's pause this right now. This is 56 stacked images. Actually, with planetaries, you want to do a lot because there's a lot of data in there that you can get out. Let me save this.
The big red star up there at the top right.
Oh, yes. Let's find out what that is. Then we'll save it exactly as seen. So we come back here, and let's go over here. And that's where we are. And that star is this guy right here. All right. That is a K13, Roman numeral 3. So K1, Roman numeral 3. That's a giant star. And it's I Aquilas. Wow. Not bad. Okay. So while we're here then, we're sort of in the neighborhood, aren't we? The helix has got to be around here. It should be down. I gotta make sure we can get to it. There it is. No, that's a little gem. Where's the helix?
It's under Aquarius.
Yeah, right. Let's go look for it. Okay. What's its elevation right now? 25, 30. Might be close right now. But we could try it. We can try it. We'll clear this now. And come out of the stack. And go back to 1 second. And go into night vision mode. Here we are. Thank you guys for coming along for the ride with us tonight. This is just wonderful. I've been dying to stream. It's been crazy. You know, the moon should be rising soon, but we should be able to still image some things. Okay. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm actually going to see if we can get down there. I don't know. I think we're going to have to wait a little while. We're going to have to wait just a little while. So let's go look in Vulpecula. Let's go look at the Dumbbell Nebula. Okay. And then we'll come down. That's not the dumbbell. It's not one nebula. It's right here.
Moon's due to rise at 9:19 p.m. in Wickenburg.
Yeah, it's just a few minutes. So the horizon's already getting brighter, you know. But let's just go. We're going to go and check out the dumbbell. Watch the scope over my head. You're going to see it's going up higher to its star. My telescope computer is not. It's the screen is off right now, but that's fine. And it's probably going to pick Albireo as its waypoint star. There it is. That's Albireo. Let's check out Albireo. Let me show you what that looks like. That's Albireo. It's a stunning double star. All right. And if you notice, it's orange and blue. It's just a beautiful, beautiful star. All right. Okay, and now we can let it continue. I wanted to show you that. And now we'll go back to this mode, and there's the Dumbbell Nebula. Now usually we go long exposures, you know, to try and figure things out. Good night, NPC. Thanks for coming tonight. Good to see you. But we're going to actually do something a little different. We're going to head to the west a little bit. All right. And now let's zoom in a little. Let's see, we should be pretty close to... Yeah, it's pretty close. Okay. We're guiding. We're going to do a 15-second shot. Not a 25 or 35-second shot, but 15 seconds. I want to capture the central star because that's what's in here. First, I'll clear this stack. Okay. The central star is a white dwarf. The white dwarf is about the size of the Earth. Look at that.
Cosmic Ray has a question.
Can the system resolve a double in Epsilon Lyra? Well, okay. This is an F2 system, so we're actually we have a very wide field of view. So in our next system, I can tell you definitely it's going to. We could try it. We can certainly try it. But it is a 10-inch telescope, so we'd have to take short exposures or do this kind of thing I'm about to show you. Do this kind of thing again where you adjust the center brightening down substantially. Like this. Look at that. Wow. You know, the beauty of this thing belies the violence of its birth. Look at that. Look at these lines here. This is the Dumbbell Nebula, measure 27. And if we push a little bit, you can see it has an additional shell of green that's very faint, not often seen. We can pick it up.
And Desert Dweller has a question for you.
Okay. This is a planetary nebula, so PN. Okay, let's throw that out there first so they can see that. All right, Desert Dweller. This is software that comes with your telescope. Okay, all the software and the entire system to make this go remote like this, I had to put together from a bunch of applications that were already done. Yes, I had to write some software for my hardware systems to control hardware systems. But this software that you see here, this right here, this is called SharpCap. This software here is called Astrophotography Tool. This software here and this stuff here, these are the security cams I have in there with the infrared cameras. This is all the system that works together. And then we have this guy in the background, which is our planetarium program, which is just stunning. It's called Stellarium. It's free. You can download this today for nothing. SharpCap costs money. APT I bought, but it didn't have to. You can use it free. And all the additional hardware that you see in there. There's focusing systems, there's temperature systems, there's computer systems, and there's many software systems that are added on in order to make this all work. So we're actually, the telescope and the building were paid for by the GoFundMe that we ran a couple years ago. And this is the Arizona site I have behind me, which you can't see, but I could probably show you very quickly. Here we go. Let me just do this. All right, so back there, and you can't see it yet. Let me see if I can do better, so I can show you what I'm talking about. All right, we're gonna go in here, and okay, that is another telescope system right there. That telescope system is the East Coast SkyTour live stream. We have SkyTour live stream East right there, and West right here. And East is going in our building out here, and West is getting an additional system fairly soon. So we're going to be really happy about that. So now, all right, that gives you the lowdown on this. And now that, Daryl, now that he mentioned it, I would like to see if we can split Epsilon Lyra.
Okay.
I think that would be kind of cool to try that.
Yeah. As you hinted earlier, you may need more focal length, but you can certainly give it a try.
Yeah. I can see that the stars look a little bit fuzzy. So there's some additional water vapor in the atmosphere tonight. Yeah. Hey, Fantasy, how you doing?
What always throws me about the dumbbell here is there's that line of green light shaped like an eye.
Right here?
No, the one around the edges. It's got
this
like
here?
a double teardrop shape. The inner eye, the inner line. If you go over at 9 o'clock, you can see it well.
This?
Yes, it's that sharp line that goes from green to red as it reaches the top and the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
Yeah,
It's
very
such
interesting.
A sharp line there.
Yeah, I'm gonna blacken up our background here. And then if we pull this down, you can see more details inside the nebula, because this sensor has what's called a high dynamic range. It can see very faint stuff, very bright stuff, and you can go between them. So you can see all the faint nebulous detail on the outside by doing this. Now look at that. You see all this stuff out there, but that's not a pleasing shot, right? You want to do sort of like a blend of the two. So maybe this with a little bit of darkening here, and we want to color correct that maybe. Looks like it is pretty good. There we go. And then you can see that. So you see this outer shell. Now that's something that I had never seen until imaging it with this telescope.
Are you there, Mark?
I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me? I hear you. Oh, Daryl can't hear me for some reason. I'm still broadcasting. Yeah, see, they hear both of us.
I don't hear Mark at all.
Well, we'll figure that out in just a minute. Okay. Beautiful. All right, let's see here. Okay, Daryl hung up, and I want to call him back. Pardon the Skype stuff.
Hello?
Are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Are you there?
Yeah, I never left, and they heard us both.
Yeah, I saw that in the chat.
Okay.
No, I heard you dropped out once and came back, then you dropped again, and then Skype disconnected. Can you share screens with me again?
Oh, all right.
Please?
Sure. No, of course. There we go. Desert Dweller says that this was a stunning shot. It really is. Thank you, Desert Dweller. I mean, it's just... Dumbbell Nebula is beautiful. Let's see if we can support going in a little closer now. I think we can. Wow. Look at that. And now what we can do is this. And that little blue thing right there, that's the white dwarf in the middle of this nebula. This white dwarf is actually only the size of the Earth, and it's got carbon and oxygen atoms on its surface, and so it's very, very hot. It's not doing any nuclear fusion anymore like the stars. It's not powered by the star's fusion anymore. It's the latent energy from the collapsed core of the star that has been compressed into this very, very, very tight package. And so this white dwarf then is very, very hot, and the hottest things in the universe are blue, all right, then white, and then yellow, then red. Okay, and we're looking at a very, very hot blue star right there, and that's really part and parcel to what makes up a planetary nebula. The hot core is usually was always a white dwarf. Now there are some ideas that if the white dwarf was to accrete mass from a companion, that white dwarf could be tipped past its Chandrasekhar limit, which is 1.44 solar masses. What's that? It means that beyond that, it can no longer withstand being a white dwarf. It would collapse further, or it might explode in a Type 1a supernova, it's called. And that's usually with binary stars. Hey, Greg O'Brien. The green color that you're seeing here is because when the star like this, when a star that's about the mass of the sun starts to die, it uses up all its hydrogen. And so it starts to fuse other things like helium, maybe can go into carbon, depending on the mass. And the star will begin to get larger and smaller, larger and smaller. When I say larger, massive. It's going to blow into a giant red giant star at some point in its life. And the outer layers are going to kind of slough off and keep going. And that's what we see here. These are the outer layers of the star that made their way away from the star. And they're taking with them the elements that the star was made with when it was originally made. So it had lots of hydrogen in it. It had lots of oxygen atoms in it. And this made it very visible, because when this white dwarf, being so hot, is now the radiation's hitting those atoms of oxygen and hydrogen and helium and neon and magnesium and calcium that's out in this cloud, it's actually going to ionize those atoms, meaning it's going to drive the electrons off the atom. And when they come back into the atom, it's like a constant, out they go, in they come. And that process, every time they come back in, they give off light. Oxygen gives off a greenish light. Hydrogen, a reddish light. And it gives off more colors. These atoms give off more colors than that, but the predominant transitions give these colors. So that's what makes the colors, is the different elements in the star's original atmosphere that are now blown off the star. Hopefully that was helpful. Fantasy, actually, it's 03. Because 01, Fantasy said 02 plus. It's 03 because 01 is the neutral oxygen, where it has all of its electrons. Right? So if you ionize it once, it's 02. You see, it's kind of weird. It's like one behind thing. You just have to, you don't put, H1 in the periodic table. You just put H. Sure, Fantasy. Yeah, Daryl's pointing out the radius of the dumbbell, and yeah. as he, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. NPC 1 asked what its size is.
Okay, cool. And as Daryl pointed out before, there's a certain radius out to which a white dwarf can ionize oxygen, but beyond that, it can't, because it's outside its ionization potential at that point, past the point where it can do that. But if we really push this, you can see that it can ionize all the way out to here, and it has. See that green out there? So it's done it, all right? It's just done it to a lesser extent. So it's possible that some of the atoms are getting ionized out here and some are not. So maybe that's why it's dimmer. I think maybe it's because that was an original layer that since started mixing with the interstellar medium, but I don't know.
Basically, the farther away from the center it is, the older it is, right?
I know that's classically yes, but you also have to remember that sometimes a star goes through secondary phases where it'll blow things off at a higher rate of speed, and so these shells here could have overtaken earlier shells that came off the star more slowly, but faster shells would pass right past them and maybe cause these tendrils to form, possibly. So it's not an even thing. That's the thing, it could be, and it might be.
That's what I've wondered about that distinct green line there. You see, over on the left side, like
This one.
yes, the left side of the eye. Maybe that's a shock front from a later higher velocity puff of gas
Exactly.
coming out and colliding.
Exactly the possibility I was saying, yeah. And it's also possible that it's a shock front created by impact with other interstellar material out here. Because there's lots of dust out in space, right? So the dust is going to impact this stuff, and it's going to go up to millions of degrees, you know? And so that is more than enough to cause ionization. Look at this, by the way.
Yeah.
You can see that this red actually extends outside. See that? That's really interesting.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about the red before, and in that area,
Yeah.
I don't think
Oh, I
I
need
ever
to
saw
focus.
it extending out past it, though.
I know, me either.
Like
But now
we're
we do.
evidently seeing tonight.
Yeah. Okay, we probably got a cloud that came over. I'm going to pause this right now, and even though it's not perfect, I'm going to save it anyway. We have a... I'm going to do a focus run. We have a need to refocus as well. I'll save it exactly as seen.
Mark, excuse me a moment, please.
Sure thing.
Be right back.
Okay. All right, guys. So now what I'll do is I'm going to go back to my 1 second night vision mode. And now you'll actually see that focus take place. So my focuser is connected. And I am going to try this. Let me just do this here. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'm going to take the focus and bring it out a little bit. And you can see the focuser is changing. As we bring it out, you'll see the stars get a little bit out of focus. Notice one thing very important. The human eye is not that good at seeing color of point lights, okay? And stars are always ever point lights. But when you defocus them like this, now you can actually see the color better. Now, I know it's in the green night vision mode, so you can't really tell, right? But you can see the green night vision. You can still see the color. Like, this is definitely an orange star. Okay, there's a beautiful blue star. There's a blue star. There's a reddish star. Yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do now is go into our tools and do the focuser adjustment again. And this will allow you to see the focusing in action again. It's very important to keep the thing focused. So I'm going to do multi-star full with half maximum focusing. And we're going to scan inward, so it'll go more in focus. And it's going to collect data from all these sample boxes of star images. And as you see, it's getting more in focus, more in focus. It's going to go past that, go back out of focus. And the purpose is, right over here, it's going to build a curve. It's going to build a curve that is going to be a curve of best fit through those points. And as it does that, it will then give us a center line on that curve, and that'll be the point of best focus. As the night wears on, the temperature changes out there. Right now it's 27.38 degrees Celsius in the building. When we started, it was 30. There's our curve, and there's our focus point. That's the best focus point. So we're just waiting for another set, and there we go. Now we go to best focus, and you'll watch this now come into perfect focus. Ready? Goes back out of focus, and then comes right back in focus. Look at that. Beautiful. And now we can get out of it. All right, and that's a beautifully focused image. Okay, let's come out of this. And I want to take you from this kind of nebula to another one, which is really just stunning. The nebula I'm about to show you, this one is actually created by a different type of star. In fact, it's a star that's very, very strange. It has really odd characteristics. So this one that you see here, this was created by a sun-like star. Okay, but this next one is one that's created more by a star that is much bigger than the sun, and is a star that is eventually going to go supernova. Alright, so this is the star Satyr. I know that because I recognize this nebula over here. And if I back us out, you'll see it when I get to 33%. There we go. Alright, and that's Satyr. That's the Gamma Cygni Nebula right there. We'll see that when the moon goes away a little more. Your name's a little bit cut off. Is it Cedric or Hedrick? I can't really see that. The first part of the letter's cut off. I apologize. But Daryl answered the question. This is a 10-inch telescope that has an f8 normal photographic speed, but we're operating it at f2, which gives us much wider angle field of view. Our view is 4 full moons across and 3 full moons tall. Notice this little guy in here. What is that? This is a really cool object. Hey, Daryl.
It's like a crescent. Hey. The name is Hedrick, I believe. Hedrick.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see the H. Yeah. I don't know why it got cut off this time. Well, let me just... I'm responding to Greg O'Brien, who I think is in our text right, or in our chat right now. Saturday the 16th. Greg, what time? Okay, let's do some pictures. This is we're guiding now, so we can do it. This one we're gonna do a 25-second shot. 25 seconds, and then you can see all the majesty of what's going on right here. It's faint, but watch this. All right. So it's underway now, and now we're going to come out of here and come back in here to our dumbbell and clear it. It's already up on the server, so you can have it up there.
When we saw the dumbbell, as Mark said, the dumbbell is powered by a white dwarf star in the center.
Yep.
And when we look at this one, the Crescent Nebula, that's powered by a different kind of critter altogether, which I'm sure Mark will tell you about.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to, as Daryl's alluding. And this is a very interesting location. This is in the Cygnus Milky Way region. This is called the Crescent Nebula. And if you look, what Daryl's suggesting is true. This star right here is a very strange star. It's called a Wolf-Rayet star. Now that's interesting because the Wolf-Rayet stars are well known to be, violent. This star has a violent past. For some reason that we don't understand, this star blew off, and there's a number of these stars. That it blew off its outer envelope of hydrogen and oxygen, leaving pretty much the core, or an inner part of that. And that is heading towards supernova land. There's something going on. We don't understand what's actually going on with these. But man, I'll tell you, this is just incredible. Let me back this out a little bit because there's a lot more detail out in here. And we only have 4 stacked images right now. But look at the detail in this. Look at that. Absolutely incredible. And of course it's in the Cygnus Milky Way, so it's beautiful, isn't it? Look at that.
Wolf-Rayet star is it's a very hot, massive star, and
Yes.
whereas when you saw the white dwarf and the dumbbell, I mean, the planetary nebula was just kind of gently shedding the outer layers of the star.
Yeah.
This one is not. This one is violently shedding its material very violently. This is a good supernova candidate sometime in the future, no doubt.
Yep, it sure is. Greg, 6 p.m. may work out okay. Oh, no, wait. It's not going to work out okay. I'm sorry. Oh, man. I just got in big trouble. My oldest son's getting married Friday. I am not going to be available on 6 p.m. on Saturday. It'll have to be, sometime after this weekend, Greg. I'm so sorry. I say I get into this and I don't even think, I apologize.
Your son's getting married again?
Well, no, he's never been married. This is his first time.
Is this the other son?
No, it's my oldest.
I thought one of them got married recently.
Oh, no. That's the marriage is happening Friday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Oh, yeah, he's excited about it. But he actually he was getting. Thank you, Izabela. He was getting. And thank you, Cosmic Ray. Thanks, Greg. Oh yeah, that's okay, Greg. Let's just plan a time. I totally spaced on what's happening this weekend. I get into astronomy, I lose it because it's so crazy. Look at this gorgeous nebula. Look at these filaments. So this is the star right here. This is the guy that's the progenitor for all this stuff you see around here, and it's actually going to be the maker of a new supernova remnant at some point right here. And I don't know what's going to happen to all this stuff. This stuff here is there, and it's blowing out away from the star at high speed. But you notice how it's not a round, a spherical thing. The reason it's not spherical is because the interstellar medium is complex. There's a lot of stuff out there. Now, the star blew the stuff off evenly, most likely in all directions, but it collided with other stuff of different densities as it moved out, and that changes the nature of how it expands and the way the quote-unquote bubble would look. Very, very fascinating. Very fascinating. Speaking of bubble, Daryl, I wonder if we can see the bubble tonight. I have to look and see, because that's another Wolf-Rayet, and I'd love to show people that as well. Look at that.
Okay, sorry, I was typing.
That's okay. Hey, Fantasy, thank you so much. Thank you, Cindy.
The bubble, refresh my memory, that's close by, isn't it?
It's up in more toward like Cepheus,
Oh, okay.
So I'll have to look. I'll have to see where it is. Oh my. This is 14 stacked in the Crescent. This is gorgeous. Look at this beautiful little extra piece here. This is just, what process blew that out, And what's this look like in 3D? Because remember, it is a 3D universe. So this is stuff that's kind of like, all coming at you and moving in all directions, but it's colliding with material and being deformed by the stuff it's colliding with. Here, let me pull that off. We don't need that right now. Look at that. Sure enough, that's something else. Wow. This is beautiful.
It is.
Yep. So yes, this is the Crescent Nebula. It's a Wolf-Rayet star nebula, blown out by this Wolf-Rayet star, which is right there in the middle, as I pointed out. And that star, as Daryl said, is actually going to go supernova at some point in the future. I hope we see a star go supernova in our lifetime. I would love that. That'd be so cool. Hey, Donald Kunzer, how you doing? Wolf 359 is not a Wolf-Rayet star. Wolf-Rayet, it's Wolf 359. I think is a red dwarf. I suspect. I think that's what it is. I'm gonna look that up just to make sure.
You want me to look it up? Got your hands full?
Yeah, my hands are always full, but I'm... Yeah, if you want to look that up, that'd be great.
Sure.
Thank you. These colors are actually stunning and more in tune to what they... I'm telling you, this looks beautiful. This is really, really pretty tonight.
Yes, Wolf 359 is a red dwarf star located in the constellation Leo near the ecliptic. 7.9 light years from Earth.
Yep. Yes, and Donald, what he just told you is yes, it's right near the celestial equator. Oh yeah, Michael Clegg has asked if I've heard about the Blue Walker 3 satellite. Yes, I have, and I've seen it. And
Really?
yeah, I really hope that it's... I hope it's delayed. I'm sorry. It's gonna be
Delayed?
very, very...
It's already launched.
Was it already launched?
Yep, it went up on SpaceX last week.
Oh, missed
or earlier
that.
this week. And it's only a test vehicle.
Yeah, I
If this
know.
one works, they say the other one's going to be even larger.
Yeah, I don't want it to be... I'm hidden under here, sorry. Get out of the way. Yeah, I have a problem with that. I mean, we already have enough problem with the Starlink satellites. You know. Gosh, look at this, man. This is something else. Really something else. Let's back out to show what we're missing. Look at the rest of this nebulosity. All this beautiful emission nebula all around here. See that? Let's get rid of some stuff that's unnecessary for the moment, just to kind of show you what's going on. Look at that. Let me try and bring up a little more detail here. I'm going to darken the background to bring that nebula forward. Look at that. I'm going to bring this data over to try and... Wow. There's a lot going on here. A lot going on here. Wow. Man, that's something. You know what I think is the most, really kind of one of the most interesting things about this entire scene is these two stars right here. Look how beautiful those are. Orange and blue. Gorgeous. Alright. Let's pull that back down a little bit. Wow. And if we pull this back, it'll lighten the backdrop, but it'll also bring out subtle detail. And you can see now that the entire Crescent Nebula is bathed in this hydrogen gas. It's not just here. It's not just over here. It's all throughout here. Yes, sirree. All right. Let's just do this now. Let's pull this in. I'll pull this back. Right there. Look at that. Wow. Maybe a little darker. Okay, we stacked 30. And we're going to pause it at 31 here. And we're going to make note that this is the Crescent Nebula. Okay. And now we can save it. Alright, we'll save it and then save it exactly as seen. And you can download this for free. Use it on in your applications, in your PowerPoint presentations, wherever you want to put it. Use it as a backdrop on your screen. But if you want prints, if you print these, it's not going to look as good. We actually do a process to make them more print capable. Daryl's doing drugs in the background.
I am.
Well, now I'm hearing a pill bottle, it sounds like.
Yeah, you used to call it Tic Tacs.
Well,
I knocked the bottle over.
we can't call them Tic Tacs anymore because then people say, oh, UFOs?
Yeah.
Let's get the telescope back here. Alright. You see the telescope's looking straight up. That's a really beautiful way to look at this. Okay, let's get rid of the stack. Much as we don't want to because it's so pretty. There's a lot of data in there. A lot of data in there. And let's go back to our 1 second night vision mode. There we go. Even under night vision mode, look at this. It's really kind of faint, isn't it? But we can pull this data out. Okay. Let's now go back here. And to those who know about the Heart and Soul Nebula, yes, I want to look at those. But we're not going to be able to see those quite yet, unfortunately.
Somebody was asking about Wolf-359 in the Borg earlier.
Yeah. Donald Kunzer was mentioning Wolf-359.
Yeah, the Battle of Wolf-359 is what it was called. Battle of Wolf-359 took place in early 2367 in the Wolf system, roughly 8 light years from Earth, between the forces of the United Federation of Planets and the Borg Collective. It was recorded as one of the most destructive battles in Federation history prior to the Dominion War. And as I said at the time, I want to say that's the one where Sisko from Star Trek Deep Space Nine was first introduced.
Benjamin Sisko. Okay. That's the first place we saw him?
Or whenever, I'm trying to remember, when Deep Space Nine started, I think they said that Sisko was at Wolf-359.
Oh, okay. We should see the bubble now. Okay. I want to take you to another one of these Wolf-Rayet locations to show you the difference. Okay.
And yes, that was the one where Picard was Locutus of Borg.
I am Locutus of Borg. Yep. Okay, now we're going to search and go find the buble. And oh yes. We're centering up Zeta Cephei here. This is our waypoint star, signpost to the glory of the sky, the beautiful objects in the night sky. Now off we go. And there we go. Now, we're going to zoom in on this just like this initially so you can see what a little bit more regular expulsion of the outer atmosphere of a Wolf-Rayet star can cause. Okay, this is the Bubble Nebula right here. You can see how this is looking more round. Okay, but it does have material that it is exciting in here. But let's check it out, shall we? This will be interesting to look at. This is at 87%. Let's go down just a little bit. Go down to 75%. Okay. All right. We're guiding, as we can see right there. And we can bring back our Sky Tour Live indicator. All right, so here we go. This is the bubble. And we're going to do a 25-second shot of this. And get out of night vision mode. Yeah, the bubble.
The bubble is also a Wolf-Rayet star?
Yes. And I'll show you. Alright. So look at how complicated this area of space is. Ready? You want to talk about complications? Look at that. I see the blue. The moon is up. The moon will infect with just a little bit of light, but we can get rid of it. We can correct for it. Get rid of it.
On that star cluster just above it's Messier 52.
Right there, yep. There's a nice little composition. And we have plenty around it. That's a pretty that's really, we'll leave it like that. That's pretty. First things first, let me do a color correction. All right. And then let's do our first blush at the processing. Look at all that stuff in there. Look at that. Wow.
That star is thought to have a mass of about 44 solar masses.
That is a huge star.
I guess that helps make it a Wolf-Rayet.
Yeah. Izabela says, Bubble Nebula, is it time already? Yes, it is, Izabela. Look at this. It's really pretty. Let's zoom in. It only has 4 stacked, but you can see the detail in here. Notice this perfect arc, this perfect round shape. And notice how it breaks down on this side. Okay, now, this could be something in front of that nebula. Okay, and so it could be up here, and that could be back here, behind it. We don't know. It's a 3-dimensional universe, remember. But we see all this stuff. This is dark nebula, complex molecular cloud probably. And this could be behind all that. Which could be the reason why we don't see the full thing. It might be a fully round one. But again, it's this This is the Wolf-Rayet star, but it's off center. Now you say, well, why is it off center? It's off center again because of the fact that as it was popping this stuff off, it didn't come off evenly. It came off evenly, but it didn't have an even chance of getting out into the interstellar medium because it was striking stuff that was out there. So it changes things.
So would that part to the upper left be a bow shock then?
Oh, definitely. This is definitely shock waves. This is definitely shock. Look at that.
I seem to see a complete circle in the bubble. Much dimmer down at the lower right. I mean...
Well, you see that, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure... See, I'm not sure if this is something that's the bubble is impinging on and getting to. So you're seeing part of the bubble moving through a cloud that might be here. Because I don't think this right here, I'm not sure whether this is, part of it, caused by it, or in front of it. But it looks like to me it's possible that that's in front of it. It's a good theory to float anyway. And then as this bubble here, when this Wolf-Rayet star blew this out, the bubble was impinging on this cloud out here and causing it to glow like this maybe. I'm thinking that we're looking at complex interactions here.
Oh yeah. Well, the wiki article has a Hubble telescope image of the bubble, and that area just near the brightly lit area near the star is well defined in the Hubble image.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. I've seen that image. Pretty interesting though, isn't it, guys? Hey, Desert Dweller, thank you for coming out. We'll see you again. Remember, this is all free up on the server. And you get there by going to SkyTour Live and scrolling down. Izabela hates the Hubble images.
Probably because it's in the Hubble palette.
That's why. She doesn't like the colors.
Yeah. Yes, that's definitely Hubble palette.
Yeah.
I don't like the Hubble palette either as a general thing.
Okay, I'm gonna pull that out. You know what it is now. And so we'll just enjoy the view.
Hydrogen's supposed to be red, damn it.
Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, we have 14 stacked here. We'll go a little more. I want to zoom way in. Why? I'll go well beyond our capability to see it, but see, I can see this complete bubble here. But I think this right here might be again a cloud of dark gas and dark dust and gas that's being impinged by this expanding bubble. That's how I read that. Again, I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong.
The Hubble image also shows the complete bubble, and it's pretty well delineated, the same as what you see there. The lower right-hand part isn't as brightly lit, but it's all there, and it's actually kind of an egg shape, with the pointing in the egg to the right at about 3:30.
That's beautiful. Hedrick wants to know how we get the colors. These colors are the sensor on the camera is tuned to these colors, and so in other words, what that means is that the camera sensor knows what red, green, and blue is supposed to look like, and so it's just taking in the light and it's responding in kind and giving you the colors as they are. So this is the actual color seen by the sensor. It's not artificial colors of any kind. But it is pretty interesting. I would say, Daryl, that this image of the bubble is probably the finest one we've done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going to do one more thing now, which I haven't done yet. I'm going to add a bit of a sharpening process. So let's see what happens. Ready? Here we go. Oh, wow. That did help. Look at that. Wow. This is something else. And you know what? Like I say, guys, this is live. This is live. This is happening live. We're not doing the photographs and just talking about pictures. We're actually showing this live. Cosmic Ray says the Bubble Nebula is... I can't read the rest. Darn it all. I can't... This... I'm sorry about that, because the Bubble Nebula is one of the 3 shells of gas surrounding the massive star, BD plus 60522, the brighter near the center of the bubble. Yeah, BD is a star catalog. I used the BD catalog when I was working on the astronomy degree, and it stands for Bonner durch Musterung. It's a catalog, and it's amazing to see what this catalog actually looks like. It's actually a large page by page, oversized. It's all, of course, computerized too, but it's a large computerized and page printed catalog that's actually probably 24 inches tall by 18 inches wide. You just turn these big giant pages, you know. That's what I did. Thanks, Uberku. Uberku says great image.
Interestingly, the Wolf-Rayet star does not apparently is not visible in the Hubble image.
Really?
Yeah. I posted a link to the Hubble image in the chat if you wanted to look at it.
Okay. I wonder why that's true.
I called it Hubble's Bubble. That's a brand of bubble gum, Hubba Bubba.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, we're gonna move back to Earth now.
You know, we're in Cassiopeia now.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to try that Lacerta Nebula I sent you a picture of?
Okay. Look at that guy out there.
Yeah.
And then the beginnings of this guy down here.
And M52 up at the top left.
That's right. Yeah, this is really cool. Okay, this is 26th stacked. We're going to go to 27 and then pause it. And there we are, 27 stacked images. This is a gorgeous shot. Wow.
It is. It's nice composition, too.
Yeah, it's really pretty. Okay,
what's the object to the upper right of the bubble?
Oh, let me get you the name. We have, it's this nebula here. Remember, we're upside down, so it's backwards.
Yeah. Yes, that would be it there.
Yeah. Northern Lagoon, also known as the Brain Nebula.
We've looked at the Northern Lagoon before, haven't we?
Oh, sure. When we done this.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's really pretty. I like this down here.
Yeah.
And where is that heading into? Let's go find out. It's down here. Interesting. It's actually faint nebulous detail that's not even cataloged. Well, I'm sure it is, but it's just not cataloged in this way here. Okay. Well, now, let's see where this is in our grand scheme. It's pretty much near the center. Okay. Not bad. Okay, so to the Bubble Nebula again, just like this. Now, because we went far north, it tends to sometimes require realignment. So I'm just going to do that real quick. Now we're realigned. Everything is up to snuff. All right, so what did you send me, Daryl?
It was an image of the Great Lacerta Nebula. It was an APOD image from a day or two ago. And
what's the designation? You want to find it?
Give me just a second. Yeah, it's a sharpless object.
Okay. Sharpless is another catalog, guys. Sharpless 2. You have Melamed, you have Messier, Caldwell, Vandenberg. Many catalogs from many different people, many different research institutions. Lynn's Bright Nebula catalog, Lynn's Dark Nebula catalog. The Boogeyman was from Lynn's Dark Nebula catalog.
Give me just a second.
And my t-shirt says, never trust an atom to make up everything. I think it was backwards, though.
Okay, it's Sharpless 126.
Okay, Sharpless 2?
Yeah, SH2-126.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see where that is. That's not too far from where we are, is it?
No, it's kind of over right in the... It's in the constellation Lacerta the Lizard, which is sort of like right in the middle between Cygnus, Cepheus, Cassiopeia.
There's the lizard.
Andromeda, and...
yeah. Okay,
Pegasus.
well, let's try it. So let's try it.
Okay.
Before we do that, we're going to come down here. And I'm going to save this. So first of all, we're going to call this Bubble Nebula. Okay.
That's a nice picture.
Yeah. I accidentally saved it under the wrong thing, so I'll have to make that correction. So I'll save it again, and I will get rid of it entirely from the other one. And save exactly as seen. Yeah, no problem. Okay. Yes. Well, it's not lost anyway. Okay. Alright. So we're going to get out of this. That's beautiful.
It is.
Alright. And now we'll come back here and go back into our night vision mode. We'll see just a very hint of the bubble there. And the northern lagoon. Alright. Now back here. And we'll just tweak that to get my guide. Alright. And now we'll go here. To this nebula. Let me see if it... Well, is it a dark nebula?
No, it's a H2 region.
Okay. Well, we're gonna find it. So here we go. Okay, we're slewing. We're moving. We're gonna head for a waypoint star. You can see all the colorful stars zipping by. Yeah, Izabela says, I know what I'll be processing today. It might be.
I'm sorry, say again?
It might be. We'll have to see.
Oh, no, before that.
Oh, Izabela said, I know what I'll be processing today. She loves the Bubble Nebula.
Yeah.
Izabela Melamed from Sofia, Bulgaria is our table of contents generator and so much more. And Joe Letitia is here. Hey, Joe. Joe's a childhood friend. I grew up with Joe. We have lots of astronomy in our background. He was in the astronomy clubs with me as well. Knows his stuff. It says hi, bye. he came in to do a hit and run because he's got a lot going on. All right. Okay. I see something here.
Cosmic Ray says turn on SH2 cat in Stellarium.
Yeah, probably. I will. I haven't done that.
Yeah. Sharpless may not be enabled yet.
It's not. Okay, this is where it says the H2 region is, so I'm pretty excited to check it out. So I'm going to wait for our guide star to be caught, and then I'm going to take us down a 30-second shot. And we're guiding. I'll let it settle out, and I'll take us off of... take us out of here. Alright, there we go. Now we're going to do a 30 seconds on this as a live stack in Lacerda. And there is our previous shot. Look at this. This is just beautiful. I want to do more of that.
Looks like a bit of smoke ring down at the bottom right.
It does. But it's actually up in the it's up in the northeast. Okay. Yeah, let's see what this looks like. Oh, there it is. It's there. And it's there too. It's just a lot going on in here. Do you see it?
Faintly.
Yep. Let's align colors. Let's do processing. So you can see some of it. It needs more gain and it needs longer exposure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it might not be a good target. It's also quite large. It's about the same. It's about as big as the Andromeda Galaxy in the sky.
Yeah.
Say it's like 3 degrees across.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, you can see it here. It actually is getting more impressive as we get into it. If we push it a little bit, we can see what's really in there. Oh yeah, there's definitely something in there that looks interesting.
May need massaging to make it come out.
Yeah. Yep. Let's do this. Darken the background. Pull this down a little bit. Yeah. Well, and in addition, we have these soft glows, by the way, of hydrogen emission. It's just, to me, it's what the universe is made of, you know. And this dark nebula that you see in here, this dark stuff, that's the hot button for me, as I've told you many times. You know, this hot button stuff, this is the coolest stuff on Earth, because, well, it's not on Earth. It's the coolest stuff because it's what makes planets. It's fundamental planet building material and fundamental star building material. Just stunning stuff. You know? So. Okay. Just put that out there so you can see. This is SH2-126. It's a hydrogen emission region. We call those H2. That's not H11. That's H2. Roman numeral 2.
Can you go down some?
No. This is the full size.
Okay.
I'd have to drop it and then re-photograph. Is that what you want to do?
No, that's okay. You can see more red nebulosity down at the bottom is what I was curious about.
Yeah, I also see a halo from the star.
The comets that Cosmic Ray left also.
Yeah.
I suspect this is a small part of a larger complex.
Yeah, like the Spaghetti Nebula, right? We're going to do that one again. I don't think we can see it tonight, though. It's in Auriga, I believe. We can see the Andromeda Galaxy, probably. Or is it still too low? Let's find out. Might be impinging on the building roof, so not yet. This is something else.
What was that over to the left there a minute ago?
Oh, where?
It was
this is North America Nebula. Listen, North America, right? And this is, Gamma Cygni.
Oh, okay. I had to get my bearings. I see Den up there.
Yeah. I'm wondering. The Lion Nebula? What the heck is that? I don't know what it is, but we're going to go check it out in a minute.
There's the elephant's trunk. Well,
yeah,
thank you for indulging me.
No, it's fine. SH2-126.
It'd be a little more impressive.
No, I know. It can be. I may have to just work on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see what's really there. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're gonna take that out of there. Yeah, we're gonna save this and save it exactly as seen. We have 14 stacked here. Actually, I'm gonna save it again because we want to catch that 15th one. Okay, and then save exactly as seen. And then we can pause and clear it. And go now to the 1 second shot in our night vision mode. And let's see over here, the Lion Nebula. Well, that's SH2-132, so let's try it. Here we go. We're going to Zeta Cephei, I think. Yeah, we are. Okay. So it's centering up Zeta Cephei right there, and then bam, off we're going to go to the Lion Nebula, whatever that is. I don't remember seeing it. Not by that name, anyway.
Ray, the APOD caption for Lobster Nebula says 10 hours of exposure over 5 different colors and over 6 nights.
Okay, so we're guiding now. I don't know where it is, so I'm just going to take a 25-second shot and see what we're looking at. And then maybe I'll do it again. Start it over. Oh, look at that. That's going to be a pretty shot. That's going to be beautiful. It's right there in the middle.
Oh.
Very nice. Okay, let's color correct. Line up our curves, all set. And now let it do that. That's what it wants to do. Talk about star chains. Look at that. There's a lot of dark nebula in here too. Yeah, let me show you that. You were talking about star chains?
Mm-hmm.
How's that for a star chain?
Bunch of them.
Yeah, look at this one.
Yeah.
Look at that one.
As always, gotta wonder. I mean, you know, the mind wants to play connect the dots, pareidolia, I guess. But
yeah.
sometimes I just have to wonder. Some of those look real.
Yeah.
That reddish part of the light part of that nebula looks really interesting.
Up here?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's let it come in.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, C&D boy, I didn't say hi to you. Hello. Let's go see. Okay, you're looking about you want to see the double cluster, but the double cluster is way down here. Okay, and with the heart, and the double cluster is here, and the heart and the soul. And I don't think we can. I don't think that we can capture those right now.
Behind the roof still?
Yeah, it's going to still be behind the roof. But it's all rotating this way, so...
Yeah.
Later in the season, we'll see it. You know what we might want to do, actually? Since... Well, we're actually up here. But maybe we can capture Gamma Cas. Right?
You say so?
Gamma Cas Nebula.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we might be able to. Well, let's take a look at this. Let's watch this come in.
This is the Lion Nebula?
Yeah, it is. I ain't lying. This is Sharpless 2. No. What is this? This was like Lion Nebula. Oh, see, now my telescope is getting in the way of trying to... There it is. SH2-132. That's the Sharpless 2 catalog, SH2-132. Alright, and it's an EN, an emission nebula. Alright, we did 10. We'll do a couple more. Let's zoom in, check it out. Let's go for a walk through the Lion Nebula, shall we? Temperatures there are very hot. But in the Dark Nebula, right adjoining it, it's very cold in there. Very nice. And what you were saying was like, you know, could these have been formed by a shock front somewhere along the line? It's possible. It's very possible. No worries about that, you know? Okay. We're going to pause this.
The more you look, the more you see.
Yeah. We'll save it. So there, the raw file is out there. Okay. Then we're going to save it exactly as seen. And that's the ping. So what you get when you go into the directory and you look at the ping file, this is what it looks. This is what you'll see. Okay. That's the ping file that you'll see. Okay. Now.
Cosmic Gray says the Wizard Nebula is close.
Yeah. I'm not going to look at the Wizard tonight. We're going to look at it another night. Okay. But he's right. It is close. I do want to see the Wizard right here. I wanted to look at this other guy. That's not it. I want to look over at the Gamma Cast Neb.
I saw the Wizard somewhere just the other day.
Where?
I'm trying to remember. I don't know if it was a web image or what. I think I commented on it in Skype chat. Okay. The little girl on the right side of the image, who looks like she's raising her hands to the Wizard, she was obvious in this image, but the Wizard itself was not obvious in the picture. It looked different than those representations.
Wow. I changed my mind. We're going to go to the cave first.
Okay. You excuse me for a moment, please.
Yep.
Right back.
Okay. Alright, so we're going to go to the cave first. Because that's going to be a much nicer... Let's first of all go to our 1 second night vision shot. Okay, there we go. So you guys having a good time? Yeah, we'll do the Wizard Nebula, but we're going to do the cave first. Okay, so there's this guy. And we're going to go there now. The cave is, I think, going to look really pretty tonight. I'm actually very excited to see it. Thanks, Edric. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Izabela. Okay, we're centering Zeta Cephei again. And then we're going to go off. There we go. It doesn't look like much, but I think that there's a lot of this detail up here. Now we're actually at 80%, so we're actually quite zoomed in. If we go to what it should be, it's more like this. Now remember, the moon is up now, but we're gonna still try it out anyway. We're gonna do 25 seconds and go, baby, go. And now we're gonna just sit back and wait. Look at that. That was our previous one, and we'll clear that. And what do we get? Okay. Dead center. That's the cave. This blue haze is from the moon. Let's get the color correction to be slight, but that'll be good. Do a little bit of that. Oh yeah. So you can see how much is here. There's a couple of really interesting objects in here. Which are right here. Right there. Those are called Herbig Haro objects. Young stars that are just poking themselves out, having just winked into existence in the last few 100,000 years, possibly, or so.
I think I asked this once. Are Herbig Haro objects what used to be bot globules?
I guess they could come from bot globules, right? Bot globules are those dark blobs you see in like the Lagoon Nebula. They're very distinct round objects. They're self-collapsing gravitational centers.
And the Herbig Haro objects are maybe bot globules after the stars have formed and they're emerging from the dust cloud.
Possibly. That's possible. Just like T-Tauri stars. Young, hot stars.
Okay. And this reminds me, didn't we look at another cave nebula, the Wolf Cave or something? Or is it the same thing?
I don't know.
I seem to remember a Wolf Cave.
Okay. As you can see, the moon doesn't affect us too terribly. It's after full, so it's waning gibbous right now, so it's getting smaller again. Keep getting smaller, moon. We don't like you. I'm going to blow up the Earth. It blocks my view of the sun. Okay, Doc. What? Remember that Bugs Bunny with Marvin the Martian?
Huh. I always liked Marvin the Martian.
Ooh, us Martians get very angry indeed. Where's my Illudium Pew 36 explosive space modulator?
Oh, you mean this, Doc?
Give me back my Illudium Pew 36 explosive space modulator.
JSCO says such dark reds. Yeah, there's really interesting red colors. Very interesting. And you see this beautiful dark nebula over here that really shows up when you pull it out. There's another one over here that really shows up. And this is the region that is so intriguing right here. Right here. Let me get in there. Look at that. Look at these little stars in here. That's amazing. And we come down to our Herbig Harrow objects down below. Right here. And you'll see dark dust being basically illuminated by the starlight, which gets scattered by the dust, making it visible. That's what are called reflection nebulae.
There is a Wolf's Cave Nebula, and I think we have looked at it in Cepheus.
Okay.
VDB 152.
Vandenberg 152.
Vandenberg-152.
Okay.
The Cepheus flare lights the entrance to the Wolf's Cave. That rings a bell. The Cepheus flare.
Okay. Izabela asks a really important question. She says, as the stars clear the dust and gas around them, will eventually there come a time when there'll be no more dark nebula in the galaxy? Well, no. I think that it'll be more or less the opposite. I think that we'll end up with a lot of dark nebulae, even more. Sorry, I just yawned. Dark nebulae are formed in so
Darn
I know, right? I started it. Dark nebulae are formed in the outer atmospheres of hot red giant stars as molecules of carbon and silicon atoms. And when the star goes supernova or goes to a planetary nebula, then these materials are liberated back to the interstellar medium. And the red giant stars, yes, Daryl, it's recycling, correct. The red giant stars, in particular, they litter the universe with this dark dust, and that becomes molecular clouds. In the cold of space, in the frigid cold of the dark, that, as I said, is the most exciting place in the universe, because it's in those dark spots where the universe is building new stars and planets. Wow.
And how does it go? The what's the word I'm looking for? The gravity waves that are propagating about the galaxy, making the dark lanes, those are sort of coalescing the dark matter, or not dark matter, but you know, the dark
density
nebulosity
waves.
And density waves. Thank you. Density waves. They're sort of herding the dark nebulosity together to form new generations of star stuff.
That is true, and as far as we understand it, okay, we have 20 of these. We're going to save it now. I had spelled it wrong. I spelled it Cabe. It's cave. There we go. Okay. And now we'll save it. Okay. And it's saved. And now we'll save it exactly as seen. Okay.
Where are we right now? What
Cave
constellation? Yes, cave,
Oh.
but Cepheus?
Yes, I think we are.
The Wolf Cave is in Cepheus. Let's go find it.
Well, I said we'd go to the wizard next, remember?
Oh, okay.
That was sort of that was a request.
Wizard.
And we'll do the wizard.
Okay. I thought
Okay,
you
so
said
we'll come
not
back
tonight,
here.
but it was.
Well, no, not because I wanted to do the cave first. I apologize.
That's fine.
I thought better of it. You see this glow? We got a little bit of the moonlight in here, but we can kick out a lot of it. Very nice. Okay. So we're covered. We're now gonna get rid of this. Stack. Go to 1 second again, and do our night vision view. And now we can go to the Wizard Nebula. Alright, and first things first.
Hedrick asks, "Are we talking lethal radiation too? Question mark. In the path of the explosion with Nebula." I guess it depends on the explosion, or
And the
you know,
proximity to it.
yeah, exactly. How
If our
close you are.
proximity, yeah, if our proximity was like within a light year, or maybe light year and a half, then it's possible that we would have something to worry about in a supernova. Right now, there's no stars anywhere near us that could cause us issues. We're actually doing just fine right now. Well, this looks like an interesting spot. I recognize that. Guess where we are. Okay, we're doing our guide search, and you'll see it start to show the numbers. There we go. That means it's guiding in a percentage of right ascension and declination coordinates. All right. And so let's settle in, find its rhythm. It's got to find its rhythm, just like us. Okay, it's got its rhythm, and now we're off and running. Let's go check it out. Live stack it and clear that last cave, because we already got it. And this is going to be the Wizard Nebula. Here it comes. And there's the Wizard Nebula.
This is one of those where I see those spider legs, the dark,
Over here.
all the way around it, actually, when you zoom back out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see one there.
Yep.
There.
Several of them. Are those
I think
real,
some
or are
of
those
those-
artifacts of the
I think
imaging
that some of them are, no, I think some of them are real. I think some of them are the fact that you're making patterns of stars again, but just a negative space.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Well, where I see them, there are few or no stars.
Yeah. There's the wizard. Correct? Looks like this is his tall hat. Looks like this is his right arm and his left arm, and he's got his hands out. And he's going, okay. This is his shoulder, his arm, shoulder, and arm. If we would say anything, that's what it looked like to me. And this is his flowing robes, and he's gaseous here because he's also a genie. He's a genie wizard.
Where is the little girl?
Well, I think she has been transported back to Narnia. I don't know.
His arm is reaching out toward her from the
This
wizard
one?
at the upper left, and that's his hand right there. And then I think she's that little brighter blob down at lower right.
Right here.
Yes.
Well, the Wizard Nebula was never the wizard and the little girl. It was always the wizard.
I understand, but it's just I always see the little girl. It's like she's reaching out toward the wizard, or not praying, but sort of in supplication to the wizard. She's reaching toward him.
Yeah, I see that.
I don't see it here, but I've seen it in other pictures.
Well, we probably have to do some processing.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Let's see if this helps. See, now as far as the wizard, this looks like his tall Merlin hat. This looks like his face. It actually looks like his mustache and his beard right here. And this looks like one of his arms. And I guess you could continue that. Or this coming toward us. Oh, satellite. Zoom. Starlink. Or this is his left arm sticking out. And this is his right arm coming out toward us. So it's sort of like coming at us. That's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong.
I'm going to post a link to another image of the wizard in chat. You can see the wizard looks like his arms are both out, hands spread apart, and I can clearly see the little girl or the woman to the right. She's facing the wizard, and her hands are sort of raised up at about her waist or her chest level.
Mm. Well, it looks interesting. I tend to see more of, like, a hydrogen emission nebula.
Oh, you said you saw the wizard.
Oh, yeah. Well, I pointed out what I think is the wizard. Yeah, it's kind of cool. But, we think about those things because it's interesting to think about how people that named them, what they actually thought they saw, or likened them to. They certainly knew they weren't really wizards in the sky and things like that. But all right, this is now darkening up a little. Does that help?
Barely.
Okay. Well, it's only a 25-second shot. I mean, we've taken 55-second shots of this. Yeah.
Would you mind posting that image?
Well, I'm going to save it. Oh. What, the image?
Yeah, the one at Wikipedia. I posted it in the chat.
Oh, this chat. Okay. All right.
Yeah, okay. See the little girl standing up right of center? She's got her hand raised. See the little girl standing
This,
that right there, yeah.
that's her hand, right?
That's her whole upper body. And her hand is that projection sticking out to the left. Her lower arm and her hand.
I got you.
See, it's her head at the top, her shoulder, her upper arm. Her lower arm is bent out and her hand at it, and like she's wearing a dress.
Wow.
She's facing the wizard, and I can see the wizard's pointy hat, like you said, up the top left, and it looks like both his hands are extended toward her, like they're gesturing her.
Interesting.
Like an incipient hug is about to happen or something.
Well, very cool. Well, that's really neat.
Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. We did 18 of these. We're going to stop here. Save. As I did name it Wizard Nebula. And then we'll save exactly as seen. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Do we have time for one more? That's the question.
Yeah, one more. I'm going to have to call it a night pretty soon.
Well, you're going to be calling it a morning.
That too.
All right. Actually, hold on. Really? I don't think we can see that.
What?
I was looking at the Lobster Claw.
Yeah, Izabela asked about that earlier.
She did?
Yeah, I think she was
Well, we
thinking
can see that.
What was it? It was an object we looked at a while back. M52
Yeah.
was in the same field.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
the other spot of red nebulosity,
Yeah.
I think she thought was
There-
Lobster Claw.
I mean, if we could actually, that wasn't the Lobster Claw though.
I understand
Because that
this
red-
is.
This will be, and it's basically kind of a little bit south of, because north is down to the bottom here.
Yeah.
It's south of the bubble, and it's part of that region that I said I wanted to look at before. So it's going to have a rather interesting. Oh, look at that. All right. This will be the last object. Thank you. Cindy says she loved the bubble. Yeah, it's a beautiful object, isn't it? Uberku says stream cut out. No. I have perfect stream health here. Cosmic Ray, we can't get to the double cluster tonight. It's below the observatory roof. We have to allow it to come up more. Okay, that's why I was going to do Gamma Cast and I couldn't. Okay, we're going to do 25 seconds here on the Lobster Claw. And Stackaroonie. You had a stream hiccup? Okay. That could have been your internet too, so make sure you refresh. And make sure you're on 1080p. Make sure you're on 1080p, everybody. What did you say?
I saw something hiccup a minute or two ago.
Did you?
Yeah. Just for a moment.
Okay. Uh-oh. We have a Starlink wait time thing going on here. Okay. Waiting on Starlink for a moment. That was good up to this point. Yep. There we go. Wow. Yeah, see there's that loop. Look at that. Definitely looks like a cool nebula. You know?
This is the Lobster Claw.
Yes, it is.
Is that loop what we saw earlier?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So now that's what I mentioned earlier, just a few minutes ago. I wanted to come back and find this.
Yes.
There it is. That's beautiful. I've actually never looked at this. That's really pretty.
Do some processing, pull that out.
Oh,
I bet that loop at the top will really show up.
Yeah, it will, I'm sure. It's an EN Mission Nebula. Wow. I'm liking that.
Is that a star cluster at the upper right?
Yeah, it looks like one right there.
Interesting shape.
Yeah. So this guy then is the Lobster Claw, hydrogen emission region. H2 once again. Wow. I'm telling you, it never ceases to amaze me. You know, the things that you can see that you don't expect to see. And I did not expect to see this. This should be down a little bit more, you know, so that this could be more complete, you know. So the composition is not quite perfect, but we'll wait for a dark of the moon to capture that.
I seem to remember the name, the Lobster Claw, like from last year. Isabella says she doesn't remember seeing it either.
Yeah, I didn't look at this. There was the there's another one far in the south that we looked at that had it was like lobster something. Oh no. What was that? Was that the Cat's Paw Nebula? That's Cat's Paw Nebula, sorry.
Yeah, Scorpius.
Yeah. Couldn't
down by M6 and M7, if I remember right.
Yeah, really far south. I mean, I caught it one time. Wow, this is really pretty. Now that it's getting, stack is showing up a lot more detail here. Since you now know this is the Lobster Claw, I will pull that out for now. I'll slide it back in a bit. Wow.
Isabella, Thor's helmet, that won't be up until well into winter. That's in Canis Major, if I remember right.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, it might be Canis Major, yeah. Wow, this is pretty. Look at the detail in this structure. That's really nice.
Uh-huh.
Well, we picked a good object to end with, I can tell you that.
Yeah. This was cool.
Yeah, we'll go to 15. We're at 13 now. Okay. Darken that up a bit. That's beautiful. I can see why it's Lobster Claw.
Yeah. Like a
what
cooked lobster.
Yeah.
Thor's helmet, of course, being another good example of a Wolf-Rayet star.
Yeah. Isabel says, Cosmic, the stream is 1080p. It won't show in 4K, unfortunately. Actually, that's true now. but I'm working on 4K broadcast capability. The trouble is bandwidth. And technically I could do it, and I did actually have it set up to do that. But we can't do it because the bandwidth precludes us from doing it. We're seeing this from the deep desert, and to see what we're seeing is actually kind of a miracle. So I'm just living with that for now. You know.
Well, don't sell yourself short.
Well, the bandwidth has got to be greatly improved.
21st century problems.
If you think about the image, okay, if you look at the images, okay, the image size is right here, 4144 by 2822. Okay, that's pretty big. That's a big sensor. Well, Cosmic Ray, the optical cable's not the issue. We have the bandwidth on site, but we don't have it through the internet. That's the problem. That's the problem. Starlink doesn't allow 4K transmission from the desert. It requires very, very high uplink cost. Perhaps use Blue Walker 3. Okay, are we done with this? We're at 20, yep. So we're going to pause this. I have Lobster Claw put in there. We're going to say save. And there we are.
I'd be curious to see a closer look at that star cluster up at the top right sometime.
Yeah, we're going to do that. We'll do that. Maybe we can get an idea what it looks like. You know. Looks like an arrowhead. We'll come back to that. All right. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Uh-oh. Guess what? That music means that it's time to end the stream. Guys, thank you very much for coming out. Thank you for joining us on Skytour live stream. Daryl, thank you so much for being with us tonight. It was wonderful. And we will be back on more clear nights. Now, I do have my son's wedding to deal with this Friday, and that'll take me into Saturday and Sunday. But I would like you to know that I will actually see if I can stream on one of those days. I probably won't be Friday night, because that'll be the night of the wedding kind of thing. But, you know, maybe Saturday, okay? Shh. Don't tell anybody. I'll get in trouble. You know what? That's okay. All right, guys. You guys have a good evening, and we'll talk to you maybe Saturday. Okay? So, we'll see you later.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course, Daryl. Not a problem. All right. Good night, folks.